Have you ever had a friend of the opposite sex? You two were tight. I mean, you were both down like four flat tires. Go way back like afros. You love each other, honor and respect one another. No holds barred as it relates to the conversation. The conversation that you have stayed right there. You didn't have to worry about it leaking out classified information. And guess what? It was a no judgment zone. And then one day you woke up and said, you know what? With this type of chemistry and connection, it's time for me to take him or her out of the friend zone. Well, this week on the Shame Free Life radio show, we're going to have a candid conversation about taking someone from the friend zone to the end zone.
Today is about the power of you.
We can be whatever we dream.
You're locked into another episode of 15 Minutes of Shame. Each week, we'll help you rebuild your life one brick at a time by addressing real-life issues from a practical and biblical perspective.
I had to believe in myself like never before.
This is the Shame-Free Radio Show.
Finding the solution to become the greatest.
And now your host, minister, author, grief and trauma support specialist, Dr. Ronald Zion Roseborough.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is it.
Good morning, good afternoon, good night, wherever you are from coast to coast and from around the globe. You are locked inside of another installment, live inside of the Shame Free Life Studios. I am your host, Ronald Zion, and it's a pleasure to be back with you once again. Hopefully this time with more consistency. We are going to put my feet to the fire concerning that. I missed you. I know you missed the show as well. Well, we're going to talk about from friend zone to end zone when we return. But first, let's pay some bills. This is how we can continue to do what we need to do, and we'll be right back momentarily. Have you considered continuing your education? Or do you find yourself, like so many, sidetracked by life, fear, or maybe even excuses? Well, I've come to tell you that there is no perfect time than right now. Time is ticking away. So get your degree today. Rehoboth International Bible College is an accredited institution designed to meet your higher biblical education needs. Simply go to RehobothInternationalBibleCollege.com or call 866-235-0812 extension 0. You are an investment, and it is past time for you to reap the dividends. Rehoboth International Bible College. Have you ever felt alone and life is out of control? Perhaps like a sailboat at sea in the midst of a tsunami. Well, you're not alone. Here at the Shame Free Life, LLC, we offer services in trauma recovery, crisis intervention, and empowerment coaching. We operate in integrity, confidentiality, empathy with coaching ethics. Contact us at theshamefreelife.com or email us at contact@theshamefreelife.com. You may not be responsible for your injury, but you are responsible for your healing. Let us help you rebuild your life one brick at a time, because your life begins when you say so. From friend zone to end zone, let's talk about it. You know, and having a conversation with someone on last week, and also brought in a therapist to have the conversation, because as life coaches, we don't know it all, and every counselor needs a counselor. And certain things that I have personally experienced in life that I could identify with this certain individual. we begin to talk about taking someone out of the friend zone to another category of relationship. Now, we understand, or at least I have been led to believe, that outside of having the foundation of the relationship built on the principles of Christ, that is the footing of any relationship, whether it's monogamous one-on-one relationship, whether it's marriage, whether it's friendship or family members. It should be built on that. Outside of that reality, for those of us who understand the importance of spirituality, communication is very important, obviously. And there are other components to add to the relationship building as we are building a house. So we start with the foundation of being Christ. Now, once we have laid the footing and the foundation, now it's time to bring in the framers. Now it's time to frame and add sheathing, bring in the floor guys, bring in the HVAC guys, bring in the electricians, the plumbers, and the roofing. We're going to do it up. But first, we've got to build up. Now, it's very important to understand having a friendship is so important. It is major concerning any kind of relationship that we're going to talk about that's going to have any sustainability. Now, we're not talking about now just friendship as in my friend, but now we're talking about turning this friendship now into something more, into something greater, a relationship, a monogamous one-on-one relationship to lead to marriage. Now, in the relationship phase, we should understand the person and begin to understand the characteristic traits, the personality style of the person. As a friend, is the friend dependable, trustworthy? Is the friend a talebearer or one that can keep a secret airtight, that I can have confidence and trust in? So we begin to learn so many nuances of a person in a relationship that is a friendship. And if you have a good friendship, that is a good component of having a healthy one-on-one relationship, man, woman, marriage. Now, that's not the case for every statistic. That is the case for many. But there are some who start out well in a friendship. They do very well in the friendship. It's nothing but love. It's nothing but happiness. It's nothing but blissfulness. They may get on one another's nerves, and such is life because we're people, right? But there is such ebb and flow concerning the friendship, because the friendship is where it ought to be. I believe that the Most High, He gives us grace. You know, it's said that He gives us not only a grace, faith according to the measure, but He also gives us grace to empower us to do something that we are assigned to do. So if we have a friendship and we are assigned to one another as man and woman, and there is a good current with the flow of the friendship, and we're fine. And not only that, there is a growth that's taking place concerning the friendship. That is wonderful. That could lead to a sustainable relationship to now thrust you into marriage. But what if it doesn't? Now, for those marriages out there that started out in a friendship, and here you are 5 years, 15, 20, 30 years, 60 years into your marriage, and you started out as friends. Wonderful. You have a testimony, and I want to hear more about it, because I believe that. I believe that is one of the footings that's so necessary for sustainable and healthy marriages is a friend that you marry. Because after the picnics, the lunches, the walks in the park, the movies, the outings, going to an art gallery, a pool game, or going to a swimming pool to swim, working out, going to the gym, whatever that you do. After all of that is over and life really sets in, and the F5 tornadoes, or the was it E5 or F5? We're going to find out. But the tornado that's on the highest level, I believe it's E5, and a hurricane comes in, the floods begin to beat against the foundation and the structure of the home of your relationship. The only thing that will keep that relationship, that i.e. home, intact is how deep is the foundation and how dependable is the structure concerning the realities and the adversities of life.
God today.
And so that's where friendship comes in, because friendship will take you to a place whereas the romance cannot. Because when you are in love with your best friend, you don't want to blow that, because friends are hard to find. But what about those individuals, for the sake of the conversation, who have taken an individual, or may be thinking of taking an individual, male or female, out of the friend zone, where everything is clicking on all cylinders, you're fine, you're good, because you have the grace of the Almighty, the grace of the Most High on your life to operate in that category. But now, for whatever reason, you want to remove that person out of that category of friendship and put that person into a category of now a relationship. Sometimes it can go south. It can go south real quick. And I'm going to tell you that there is nothing more painful and sobering than to take a person that was designed to be in the category of friendship and place them in the category of relationship, and there is no sustainability. But the relationship bankrupts, it tanks, it hit an iceberg and sunk like the Titanic in the depths of the ocean. Well, I want to talk to you about this because I believe that so many people are doing this. And if it works, wonderful. I am here to talk about the incidents and circumstances in which it does not work. And you have two people that are hurt or broken because of the decision to take the friendship to a place where it cannot be sustained, where it does not have the grace to function, where it does not have the maturity to function, where it does not have the spirituality or the emotional intelligence to function. This is why we cannot be ahead of the Most High God, but we must wait. We must move in sync with Him. For the word reminds us in the book of Romans, for as many as are led by the Spirit of the Most High Yahweh, they are the sons and the daughters of God. So I want to talk to you about 4 facts to consider before you move them from the friend zone, which could end up being an end zone. Now, I'm not talking about an end zone where you score big. Well, now the relationship is now taken out of the friend zone. Now you move it to the end zone to score. Touchdown. A great marriage. Touchdown. Wonderful kids and family. Touchdown. This was the best move that I ever could have made. in taking this friendship from the friend zone to the end zone because I married my best friend. I'm talking about individuals that take a relationship that is in the friend zone because it's designed to be there. It has the grace of the Most High to be there. It can only flourish where you plant it. And they take that friend zone relationship and move into an end zone, not the score, but it's the end zone. It is the end of the relationship. It becomes the end of a friendship. It becomes the end of everything that you all connected with and built together. It is the end. And so let's talk about that, because you cannot go to the rainforest of South America and find a tropical plant and now uproot that plant and take it to Arizona and plant it and expect for it to thrive. It's not that there are not plants in Arizona, but the plants that are there, they are conditioned for the soil, for the atmosphere, and for the climate. A rainforest tree or plant is not. So where it could flourish in one regard, because it was created for that reason, it had the grace upon it to flourish. It doesn't in another regard. In the same, when we begin to switch and swap and take individuals out of the friend zone into a relationship, and it has no sustainability because it's not built for the climate of a relationship or a marriage. It's not built for the atmosphere. It's not the soil cannot nourish the root system when it's designed, the relationship that is, to be just friends. 4 facts before you move them from the friend zone. Number 1, check your emotions and motives. How I'm preaching to the choir, preaching to myself. Check your emotions and motives. Why do you want to move him or her from a thriving friend zone to a relationship? Why are you doing this? What is the motive? Is the motive because you're lonely? Is the motive because you're looking at everyone on social media and how they're thriving in their relationships and they're taking selfies together, going on vacations together? Hey, look at me, all booed up. What is the motive? Is the motive because you keep looking at your biological clock and, man, I want to have kids, but if I'm going to have kids, I need to start working on it right now? What is the motive? So we have to really do an inner searching and examination and showing up for ourselves, and show up and look in the mirror of reality and truth to get to the core of why the impulsive behavior to remove you out of the friend zone when this friendship zone has proven to work. Now to remove you and place you over here. What's the motive? Because if we can get a chance to understand and come to terms with our motives, now we can take a look at the emotions that led to the motive. What are the emotions? Especially as men, sometimes we will not come to terms with that because that's not the quote unquote manly thing to do. I think the manly thing to do is to come to terms with that. King David did. He himself had to come to terms with his own emotions. That's why he reminds us, even in Psalms 55, create in me a clean heart and renew a righteous spirit within me. So the emotions, what's the emotions? Is it, is it loneliness? Is it depression? Is it codependency? What are some of the motives? What's some of the emotions at work that fuel the motives? Because it's the emotions that light the fire to the motives to get us to act in an impulsive manner. Let's check in with our emotions. How are you feeling right now? Because we do based on how we feel oftentimes. So if our emotions are unhealed, if our emotions are unchecked, then oftentimes we will make irrational, illogical, nonsensical decisions and choices that can go left real quick. Number 2, make choices based on identity and not impulse. We just talked about that. Making a choice based on your identity as a man, your identity as a woman, and not being impulsive. So if the decision now, before I make this decision, it may not seem irrational to you, but before I make this decision to now take you out of friend zone and put you over here in a relationship, we're going to make this work. I mean, we cooking with grease. Everything seems to be working. Hey, listen, hey, you like the Lakers. I like the Lakers. Hey, you like Italian. I like Italian. I mean, we've been cool with one another. I mean, hey, we have fun with one another. We go out, we laugh, we go to the movies, we go bowling. I mean, man, you my best friend. We can make this work. Okay. What is your identity? Because your identity, your identification is who you are. Not what you do, not what you have, but who you are. And who you are is important. And an extension or a byproduct of who you are is who you are connected with. Can two walk together except they be in agreement? The book of Amos. And so, when we begin to understand who we truly are, as far as our identity, and which is embedded, immersed in our purpose for Almighty God, the Most High. So now, therefore, if I do move you or remove you out of the friend zone to put you in a relationship now that's going to take more energy, a different type of energy, a different type of time. Mentally, we're going to a whole nother level. Spiritually, we're going to a whole nother level. So now you have to be interconnected with my identity. So if your identity is one thing, but the person that you even are friends with, if they contradict the very core of your identity, even though y'all flow well together, that doesn't mean it's going to work. As a matter of fact, oftentimes it won't. Not that you two share the same identity, but there has got to be some type of commonality of balance as it relates to who you are. For an example, if you are a person and your identity is, hey, listen, the Most High called you to be, let's just say, a minister. Okay. That is, a calling. You didn't call yourself. Grandma didn't call you. No, God handpicked you himself to be a minister. Whoever your wife or your husband is, they're going to have to be in full agreement with that. And also, they're going to have to share the same belief systems, the core foundation that is, as you. You may know more than she or he, or they may know more than you. That's fine. But as far as the core foundation, there should be something that is rock solid and you're on the same page. Because if there's any kind of resistance, if the person that is in the friend zone, though y'all flow well together, but if they're more carnal minded than spiritually minded, it ain't going to work. If they want to go more out to, the club or whatever the case may be, and, hanging out here, hanging out there, though they're not doing anything. I mean, they're very loyal, but that's not a part of you. This relationship is not going to work. So sharing the same interest and value system, having a foundation that you both share as being the core of the principle in which you both stand, the identity. And when we understand our identity, we're not quick to act in an impulsive manner. Number 3, we have to ask ourselves the question, is this friendship fulfilling? Is this particular friendship, is it fulfilling? Because if the friendship is fulfilling, if it's fulfilling your needs as it relates to what you need from a friend, what is the complaint? Why move it? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. If it is fulfilling, if it fills an emptiness in you, then that's what it's designed to do. Why change it? We have to ask ourselves these questions. Or is it going back to number 1? Is it because, hey, I need somebody by my side, I'm tired of being alone? Okay. But if you have come to terms that this friendship is working, it's a blessing, it's a godsend, it has the grace of the Most High on it, I can trust this person, leave it where it is. There is no need to change a tire when it doesn't need to be changed. There is no need to go on the showroom floor of a Maserati dealership and purchase a Maserati when your Honda, your Toyota, your Acura, whatever that you're driving, is working fine. There is nothing wrong with it. Why upgrade when what you have is working? Number 4, in the 4 facts before you move them from the friend zone, which could possibly be the end zone. And number 4, the final one, count the cost. The Bible teaches us that a very important reality in Luke chapter 14, beginning at verse, 28. For which of you intending to build a tower does not sit down first and count the costs? We've got to count the costs from friend zone to potential end zone. We've got to count the costs, whether he has enough to finish it, lest after he has laid the foundation and is not able to finish, all who see it begin to mock him, saying, this man began to build this relationship. This man began to build this relationship leading to marriage and was not able to finish. Not able to finish it. I believe that when we have the grace of the Most High on our lives, it's not only for the purchasing of the lot, clearing off the land, leveling the land if needed, but to build the foundation and bring in every component concerning the building and construction process, since we are the GC, the general contractors of our own lives. He doesn't plan for us to start at one phase and not end it and bring it all the way to the closing table and have the keys to show for it. There is nothing more embarrassing than starting to build a home and you don't have enough money to finish it.
God, today.
and everybody passing by look at the lot, but that's an unfinished house. Man, they're not finished now. It's been a year. It's been 14 months. This house should have been finished. It should have been finished by now. It would have been had that person counted the costs, but they didn't count the costs. They rushed in and they had the money up front to begin the phase, but to not end the phase. And so this is interesting scripture because we must count the costs. And I tell you in my final moments with you, if you have a friendship and it is functioning at the highest level, it's functioning because of the grace of the Most High God Himself. It is healthy. You have to ask yourself, and you have to go to the Most High. Father, you apparently allowed me to cross paths with him or her. And there has been growth. I have seen growth in my life and growth in the other person's life. And I am comfortable in the relationship. It is a refuge to me. It's a sounding board for me. But is it the end all? Is this my wife? Is this my husband? Because what I don't want to do, I don't want to take this person out of the friend zone and to the end zone. And it flatlines. So I hope that this has been a blessing to you. If so, definitely share with someone else, because we all go through different things in life. We all have various experiences, and it's those experiences that will hopefully make us better, stronger, but most of all, wiser in our decision making, in checking in with ourselves to check our emotions. Now let's go over the 4 facts once again. Before you move him, before you move her from the friend zone that could potentially be in the end zone, not to score, not to get a touchdown, but to flatline the relationship. Number 1, check your emotions and motives. Number 2, make choices based on identity and not impulse. Number 3, ask yourself, is this friendship fulfilling to me? Number 4, count the costs. Until next time, as I always say, and I will continue to say, that your life begins when you say so. For one-on-one trauma recovery coaching, go to the website for other books and manuals, and as well as online courses. Go to the website, and don't forget, go to the website, and everything is in the description, theshamefreelife.com. There is a free online course, free online course that you can download, and it's yours. Just like that. And it's called Get Back Up. If you ever had hardship, if you ever had trauma, difficulties, adversities, setbacks, well, this course is for you. It's time for you to get back up. Until next time, again, your life begins when you say so. Shalom and blessings, and love you to life.
Thank you for joining us on the Shame Free Life Radio Show for 15 Minutes of Shame. Follow us on IG and Twitter at Shame Free Life. For information on promoting your business with us, contact us at theshamefreelife@gmail.com. Until next time, your life begins when you say so.